Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Hi, hellos. How is everybody doing?
My people, Mkaja, I hope you guys are well and I hope mko poa. I am okay, we are fine, and welcome back again to our YouTube channel. For those who are new, this is Wakari and Faith YouTube channel. Thank you so much for subscribing and supporting us and liking. We appreciate you guys. Yes. Karibuni.
Yeah. How is everybody doing? This is episode what? We don't even name our videos as episodes and seasons. We just post. But I know at least right now we have like 50 to 51 videos. Yay! Thank you so much for all of you. We've been seeing you. Tumeona mna view. We shall keep this content coming because we believe it is important. It might help somebody somewhere. Yeah, even if it's 2-3 people, it's necessary. We shall keep doing this. And thank you so much for supporting us. So today we have a different topic. Today I want us to talk about single moms. Yeah? Single mothers. Single mothers specifically, not single parents. Single moms. Yeah? There's so many ways and many times we've seen single moms out here doing the most. And it's not easy to be a single mom, by the way. It's so hard because you are carrying the responsibility of two people. Yeah, you're both mom and dad, and you have to ensure everything is running because babies gotta eat. Babies have to eat. There's no question about that. Children have to go to school. If they don't, you're arrested. Yeah, you can't force anybody to help you. Yeah, especially when the circumstances don't allow. Yeah. So what are the many times? What are the situations that make people single moms?
Divorce.
Mm-hmm.
Death of a parent.
Death of the dad.
Yeah, death of the
Because
parent.
today we are talking about single moms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Death of a parent.
Parents.
Dad now.
Yeah, you have to specify dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rape.
Rape.
Those children who are born out of rape.
Oh yeah,
They are single parents.
Yeah.
Separation, like divorce, if you guys were married or not.
Yeah.
Separation, let's just say separation. Or maybe you were not even married, you were dating and you love each other and a baby comes and the guy abandons the child.
Okay.
So yeah, it's abandonment. Maybe if you got a child out of abuse, maybe separation, mutual, which we call divorce, death of your dad, a husband, or a baby daddy, and the other one. I think those are the ones I know.
Yeah, I think you mentioned everything.
Yeah.
Even, but there's also people who decide to be single by choice because it is very hardly anyway. If I had the mullah enough for me to care for a child alone, let me tell you, I would stay by myself. Yeah, I said it. These men will kill us all. They are so stressful. Somebody is stressing you January to December. Why? There's those people who decide they are gonna just raise kids by themselves. There's also those people who adopt and they are by themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adoption.
Yeah. A single lady can decide to adopt.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Give examples.
Huh?
Yeah, let me not give examples. Maybe I really don't. Yeah, there are people that
You wanted to give, like, are they famous?
Yeah, but I don't think they don't talk about it much.
Oh, okay. They are single moms.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Uh-huh. I think those are all the. Also, you mentioned when somebody is widowed, when their husband dies, like our situation, our dad died, so we didn't have an option. We had to grow up with our mom alone. Yeah. Um there's just all those and divorce. So wow. Now let's talk about these baby mamas or single moms who divorce or get abandoned. Okay? Either way, they are single moms, all the ones we've mentioned. What are the challenges that single moms go through?
Doing it alone is enough challenge. Like being alone, the fact that you are gonna raise this child alone, there's loneliness. That's a challenge that every single mom maybe doesn't talk about. They look like super women, but they are lonely. You want help, you want support, you want to find someone help you. Do it. Both of you. So there's that loneliness. Sometimes it's overwhelming. I think um, depending on how financially okay you are, because at this point you have to provide both. You have to be there emotionally for the child. You have to provide financially. You have to like your mental state. I think mostly the common thing single moms have is mentally. It's mentally draining.
Exhausting.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
To even stay strong all
Yeah.
the time. It's not possible
Yeah.
for any human being to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you see, one thing about parenting is you have to be a strong parent. Okay? You can't start crying. Now, if you start crying, even the children will start crying. So you have to know how you're gonna maneuver and work around it, because there is no other way. Unless you give up your children, you are only by yourself. Unless you give up your children up for adoption, you do not have another option. Especially if the man is still alive, you can think of pursuing them through court, to get the child support stuff. And by the way, child support is so serious in states like America, Europe. There you don't play with child support. It's cut from your salary. It doesn't matter. As long as you've been taken to court, you do not have an option. You have to pay. But in our country, like third world countries like Kenya, those things are a bit stressful and hectic. Fine, you'll tell somebody to pay child support, then they will refuse. You can even have them arrested. The minute they are released, they will still, you have to keep fighting with them all the time. You have to take them to court. It's so exhausting. So you find some women decide, I'm just gonna ignore. I'm just gonna ignore this man, because clearly there's some men who are willing to support, but others, many times they are not. And those are the ones we are talking about today, because when you're a single mom, it means you're taking care of everything by yourself. Yeah. So those are some of the things that people go through. It can be overwhelming, like you said. You have to be there for the child throughout everything. Yeah, you have to go attend the school meetings. You have to make sure that they are mentally and emotionally okay. You have to make sure financially, especially financially, kids are fed. And because financially is so demanding, some parents end up not being able to provide other things like emotional support, mental support, being there physically, because they have to go to work. They are the only one. So you find the kids are being raised by the households. Yeah. And that is the topic we talked about last time. Are households important in the early child development? And the answer was yes, very important. Now, besides the physical and financial challenges, do you think single moms wish that there could be a father figure in their child's life?
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
All of them.
All of them?
Yes. Just
Why?
that they can't see, or they just want to. I'm okay alone, because nobody wants to be raised alone. Nobody wants to raise a child alone. Yeah. Naturally, you need a dad. You know, the dad. Really, psychologically, they play a very big role. You know, in that child's life. And as much as we want to, we find as much as single moms find themselves raising the children alone, they hope and wish that they had their husband or the baby daddy or the other person around. That's why you find that even if they are apart, there's a thing called co-parenting.
Yeah.
You know, because this child, as long as your father is alive, it was your responsibility to make sure that child feels your presence, you know.
Yeah. So what is the importance of a father figure then? What does a father figure change? Why is it necessary?
Normally, kitambo, they used to say a father is the hand of the home. And that said, the hand of the home is someone that does so many things, like you're the one that will lead us, you protect, you guide, you're the one that is in charge. You know, it is you. If you're not there, that home is shaky. So normally, as a dad, you're supposed to mostly pass that to your child. You know, you're supposed to be a role model, a mentor. You know, to this child, they should grow seeing you, and that's why everybody has a dad. You know, normally a child cannot come in this world without a father.
Yeah.
There must be that whole interaction.
Yeah.
Because there's all passing of the genes, from the father to the son, and I think with this they also pass the habits, and there's the whole personality thing.
Yeah.
So normally you need a dad because it kind of determines who you are. It kind of reminds you, you have an image of who you are going to become. It may not be a good image, but mostly the good thing is you can change, not to want to be like your dad. But mostly a father is there to remind you of who you are, of your lineage, it's a generational thing, That's why you need a father.
A sense of belonging.
A sense of belonging.
Okay, that's one. For me, number two, I think discipline.
Yeah.
I think dads are, because they are dads with that deep voice and they are male and, they are the lions or they are the heads of the home. Even mom listens to dad. Yeah? There's that thing about power, okay? Especially if if dad is providing. I don't know why. Because if dad is not providing, well, somehow dad does not get respected. Somehow. Yeah. So big up to all the men providing out there. We see you. Thank you so much for being the best of the best. Now, the reason why I talked about discipline is because there's this video I watched online the other day. It was of a single lady. She was I think she was looking for her daughter who had just joined campus of college, and then there was someone on the streets fighting with the daughter. The mother is saying she's a single mom and she has worked so hard to pay school fees for the girl who is not even going to school.
And the girl had this to say, "Mom, you're so selfish. You don't care about us." Why was that interaction like?
But you see, we can't really comment about it because we don't have all the facts, honestly.
Yeah.
Either way, I believe if that lady, what do you mean selfish? Because if she has paid school fees, you see some kids are very entitled. And I'm thinking it's because she's the single mom, she did not have a lot of time with the baby, with the girl. Now she's in campus and she was so rude to the mother. My goodness.
Actually, when I went through the comment of that thing, there were men commenting, and they were like, actually, without the men, the the bike guys,
Yeah.
vijana wanaume walikuwa hapo,
Yeah.
and they were like, why would you talk to your mom like
that?
Who do you think you are? And
they almost beat her.
And they almost beat her. And the more she, after the men were like, why would you talk to your mom like that? She kind of calmed down.
Yeah, she did.
Akanyamaza.
Yeah.
And then later the mom was like, it's okay. After aliona ni kama, the streets are gonna discipline her.
Yeah.
They were like, okay, just calm, you're my daughter, But she continued just,
She was talking while pointing at the mother like this.
Yeah.
You've done.
So I think what I noticed is when that energy, the masculine energy of the men around,
Yeah.
when Waluthi walikuja wakaingilia, they're like, why are you talking to your mom like that? She kept quiet.
Yeah.
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 And that was what a man, that is what she was missing. She missed that.
Absolutely. And people in the comments were saying, this is what happens when you raise a kid without a father. Yeah. A father figure is so important because you see, if she started raising voices like that at her mom, the father was gonna come and do the thing that fathers do.
Actually, you don't even get to that extent. Really.
There's no way you'll ever get there. Yeah, you get discipline every time.
Yeah.
And by the way, something we've noticed. Kids that get raised by their fathers and mothers are not the same as kids. Many times, not all, but many times they are not the same.
Because mostly, the man, the lady, mostly girls, there are those people that, mom will discipline you. But then when you can't listen to mom, you are taken to the high court. And the high court is what? Daddy. And mom hamemalizana na wewe by the way.
Yeah.
And you know that she's not gonna deal with you. She's like, you take your daughter to litengeneza na wewe, do your thing. And at that point when dad comes around, you will know why mom was, nice, at that point. So I think that is what happens when you have a single mom. When you're not listening to your mom, there's no one else to come help you. You see. So mtoto wako zile za, it's okay, she's just my mom. And at that point you're busy, you will tell her something, she doesn't listen, but you have no one to help you or even to report you or to help you discipline the child.
Yeah. So do you think that exhausting job of being a single mother, especially without any support, do you think it is exhausting and can change the lady?
Yeah, it's very exhausting.
In what ways can it change them?
They say, actually, there's a documentary I was listening to, and they are saying that it's not for you to be traumatized. Trauma does not come out of bad parenting. Trauma comes out of a very unhappy, overwhelmed, tired mother. Because you could be the most amazing woman on earth. You're happy, you're vibrant, you're amazing. When you're having this child, but we respond based on the situations and the circumstances that are surrounding us. So at this point, you're having this child, you're okay. But with time, you're alone. You have to work and you have to parent, you have to provide, you have other family. Because mostly you have a family and then there are other families depending on you. So normally it changes who you are.
Yeah.
Slowly you lose the vibrant self. And what comes in is a survival person, a survival woman that wants to survive, And when you get to that point, really, the good parent that you hoped you would be is not there anymore.
Yeah, because I believe your children, your good parenting is not seen in how nicely you dress your kids. It's seen in their behavior. And so if you've not been able to be available for your kids to, teach them all those things, we're going to talk about toxic moms. But at the same time, it's really tiresome. It's understandable to find a single mom really tired, fed up, worked up. They just want to take a vacation. They just want to go away for some time, and come back when things are better and, maybe relax and take a relief or something. But you see, it's not easy for many single moms, especially if they don't have a good income. If they don't make enough money to give them maybe that luxury place where they can go for vacation, take some time off, pay a house help or house
Actually,
helps.
if they don't have support system,
Yeah.
support, there are those, when you talk about finances, I tend to think of those mothers in Ushago,
And even the ones in the ghetto.
Yeah, those mothers in Ushago, they don't have like much.
Yeah.
They don't have like money to go for vacation.
Yeah.
But they have their own mothers who support them.
Yeah.
I think it's all about support system where you have someone to hold you down. When you're at your worst, you may not have money and all that, but if you have a parent, maybe you can go back to, who is your mom. You're a single mom, but maybe you have a mom or a dad.
Yeah.
The support system, it kind of helps you hold you down.
What kind of people? What are the people that a single mom can have as support system?
Your parents, your mom, dad, your uncles,
Okay.
your brothers,
Yeah.
your friends,
Yeah.
and
But you see, the thing is, all these people have their own lives. Yeah. So many times they are not available for to help you. Yeah. But also I was thinking, you see, it's very different when there's dad around all the time, every day. It's not the same as uncle coming over the weekend. And uncle will not always be able to come over the weekend all the time. Your dad will not always be able to listen to your problems. Yeah. All the time about your children. They will not, because they have a life to live. They also have a family. They also have a home. They also have their wives, who is your mom. You see, so even grandparents might not be able to be there for you all the time. And even your friends, they also have other lives, honestly. As much as we are calling it a support system, it's not always available. The support is not always available. Sometimes you might call somebody and they're like, oh, call me, whatever time, that right now I'm doing this and this. But you see, if the father or the child was really focused and, available for the child, maybe they would be dealing with that issue. Even if passively, even if at work, they would still be thinking about it and, giving solutions. It's not the same when a dad wakes up every day at home with the kids, yeah, and the kids see dad every other time. Hata kama wamekosana na mama yao, as long as they wake up and see dad, they see mom. It's not the same as never seeing mom, never seeing dad, and having to be supported unless that uncle of yours is living with you. Or whatever support system you have, unless that support is with you or close by.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to be always there. So that means you have to stay strong many times, most of the times. Yeah? Yeah. And so I believe because of that, many times single moms can be changed. They get changed by the situation because it's really overwhelming. The child is there day in, day out. They have needs that you must meet. Yeah? It's illegal to not meet them. And you can't just abandon. You can abandon the baby and run away. But I believe motherly instincts. Many women have motherly instincts. They can't deal with leaving their kids alone. It is so torturous to mess with your minds even more. So you find, especially these women that got abandoned, by the way, those ones I really feel for them because, you can see the guy literally. You can see the father of your child in Doule, yeah, but they are not willing to support. Some cannot even afford to support you. They don't have no money at all.
Others can, but they just don't want to.
Others refuse completely. Like, hey, there was even this other person I talked to, and they were telling me they went to look for their dad. Yeah, the dad left the mom when they were so young. And he had money that time, and after apata pesa ni hawa sasa vijana unaona sai wenye in our generation where they are leaving a lady with a baby and then going to get another lady baby because the lady is more pretty, this lady is completely fine. She's not toxic. She's a great mom. She takes care of everything. But the guy anamtoka for reasons like hana nyash. Let me just laugh, Kado. It's a real reason. Yeah. Men will leave you because you don't have nyash. Like you don't look attractive to them the way they would want their woman to look like. Yeah, so you find they are giving you the option of you either stay as a second wife, first wife, I get her as a second wife, or you just leave the kids and just go. Yeah. And now, depending on your strength and the Holy Spirit within you, you decide if you want to walk away or you want to stay in such an arrangement. And there's some crazy men who say, if you're not leaving me the child, I'm not supporting them. I cannot support a child that is living in another man's roof. You have to leave the child with me. If it's not that, you go, know what to do, don't contact me, don't call me, don't tell me nothing about that child. You leave the child, you go get married elsewhere, or when you go, don't talk to me about the child, don't tell me nothing. And they mean it. The minute you live with the child, forget about them. Hey, would you leave your child? What would you do if you're given such an option by your mom?
Just forget about him.
You forget about him? Why?
It's very exhausting to live on terms and conditions. It's like I have to beg you, and it's like I'm living on, you're my God, small God. Without you we cannot survive. Jesus Christ. So me, I will just take care of my baby.
Yeah,
it's
because
easier.
That is so unreasonable. It's just being jealous that you're gonna be with somebody else that treats you better, but they don't wanna take care of their child. So the punishment is, and that happens a lot with narcissists. The punishment is to deny you everything. You work, go look for money, take care of your child. Now it's no longer their child.
That's okay. I'll just assume you died. Yeah. Women out here who their husbands are driving big cars and they're not taking care of their children.
Yeah.
If he died, even if he's providing, it's okay. You would take the chance of, okay, sawa, I'll listen to you. But what if he dies? You have to go back to square one.
Yeah.
There's no support again.
But when he dies, maybe he can leave a little bit of inheritance.
If he wants to leave, he will. Rachel, if he wants to, you see that statement?
I'm saying
he will.
There's those, we can't compare that to a dead person, because
no, that's why
the one that is dead could have left behind. When you do the estate law, you might find there's something he left behind that can help you.
Anyway, you asked me, so that's
bring up. I know, and your answer is valid. But at the same time, I'm just saying we can't compare someone that has abandoned the child to a dead father, because many times a dead dad who did not really abandon their kids, and if they have any property, you can use that property to bring up your child. Even if it's land, you might lease it. You can just do something with whatever they have left behind. Now the one that is abandoning you is not giving you anything. It's 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, that's, you assume he's not around. He does not exist.
You assume he died without any property.
Yeah,
right?
he died without any property, because even if he has them, the way he's, the conditions you're getting, he's gonna give you conditions. There are so many ways, utateseka sana before you get even to his property, if at all that is what he wants, Or maybe you can have him know that, I don't know how the form of parenting one can come up with, but at this point, really, you just choose your peace, because life is short. Choose your peace. If you listening to what he's saying is not sitting well with you, just choose you taking care of your child. If he wants to come in, he will. If he wants to chip in the child, he will. If he wants to see him, he will, or not. It's never that serious.
There's this friend of mine, I can't mention his name, he's a lawyer equally. I don't know if he's graduated from LSK. He was still in school, I think, this year, last year. So he was telling me he's the only child to his mama, and the father abandoned them. He had money when they were growing up.
Yeah.
So they started from 0. Then at some point he got money. So later, the mom managed to make a good living. She managed to get a good income, She raised the boy. Even if the boy, the where the boy was living, she had to leave the boy with the auntie so that she can go hustle, the sister. So she left her son with her sister, and she hustled really hard to a point where now she was stable enough. She took him to the best schools. He went to a school like Strathmore. Strathmore is not cheap. Yeah, that's why he did his law, I think. And then, he did law school. I'm sure he has finished. I'm not sure he has been admitted to the bar, but I'm sure he has finished school. Guess where the father is? I'm happy because Karma.
Where is the father?
Kusota. Alice Sota, he calls now the mom to this boy to borrow money.
Which money?
Hey, where? Me I was saying she has energy to even pick up. I would never.
And the mom gives the money?
I don't know. I think he never disclosed that because why? And to me, I think she does.
She must be a prayerful woman.
Of course, she's a lady of church.
Yeah.
Kanisa.
Now the church there applies says,
Forgive
do bad.
77 times,
Do
7
not-
times.
Hey, do not do bad. Yeah? Do not pay bad with bad. Yeah. Just pay it with good. When they were paying it with good, where were you?
With
Yeah.
bad.
With
You
bad.
were there feeling badly.
You are there feeling badly.
But
Now,
anyway.
why is it bad
Mm.
for them to feel bad?
Why are you feeling
I don't
anything for them?
understand how the world
They
works.
should go feeling
You know,
bad.
they
like
should
that.
feel bad.
Yeah.
Really.
She goes back to the wife that she.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, they should feel the way that you felt.
Because now he has more children with the second wife that he already had one with her.
Because what's the point now for them not to feel bad? You're here now sending them money.
I don't know. I think women we forget quickly, and the lady has never gotten married by the way ever at all, and I don't know if she's seeing somebody. So I don't know, and I understand her. Men can character develop you until you decide, nijikute tu hivi, nikiolewa hivi, nijikute, muniue mkiniona. Anyway, wow. So we've said single moms need our support, by the way. Every time I see a single mom, and especially when you talk or hang out with their kids, and the kids are so mannered, they are so well mannered, they are so polite, so kind. You're like, wow, this is a lady that is overworking. It's not easy to not be around your kids all the time, but they are proper, they are good. Wako sawa hivi wamefanya life. Because many times that means that lady is putting away her bitterness and issues to raise proper people. She's not bringing all her stress to them. She's not trying to make them feel like they are pieces of shit, to say sorry. They are not making them feel like their father abandoned them. They are always affirming them. They tell them they love them. They take care of them. Many times you don't even need a lot of money. You just need enough to survive. If the kids can go to school, if they are eating, if the home is running, and they are in good health, they have health insurance, and the most basic things about kids, I believe that is enough for survival. But this is usually possible for women who have good income. There's women who are very successful in their businesses, but they're still single moms. Do you know of any? Yeah, I do. Is Akoda married? Akoda is not married. But Akoda is not as well. There's an uncle, Akoda is a single mom. Because the baby daddies help. According to her stories, the baby daddies help her. There's even that Mzungu that have taken the two Mzungu boys. That is so Akoda doesn't live with them. So that means those two are taken care of. I don't know about the girls, but she says she raised them by herself. You see, it's one thing to have income and everything, to raise the kids, and stable money. But at the same time, there's more to raising kids by yourself. You're the only one that is doing supervision stuff. You're the one making sure the kids are okay by yourself. It's all on you. Only that it's easier because you're getting financial support. Yeah? We can't say it's the same because, there's those women who have to hustle. But if you listen to her story, there's a time she was talking about making soap, driving taxi while she was still breastfeeding and she had milk all over. I can understand. That must have been very, very tough on her. Yeah, she said she was really, struggling somewhere in Mombasa to even feed her kids because, she was the only one. She couldn't even afford food. So she couldn't afford a house help. When you're a single mom, you need help. A house help is very important to you because if you're working, you need somebody to take care of your kids. There's nowadays daycare, yeah, but you see daycare you have to also pay for. It's not free. Yeah, either way, you need money, you need support, you need help. Either house help or daycare, you need money for that. So it's not an easy thing to do, and we know and we see it. Me, I even usually imagine, kama mimi, it's so hard for me to take care of myself by myself. Imagine taking care of another child. Yeah. When schools are opening, school fees, school uniform, books, sijui anaitishwa nini shule, trips, I don't know, all those on you, and you have to find them. Otherwise, maybe your child is gonna now feel bad. There's these women who are ambitious enough that they look for enough money to take their kids to better schools. Because when you're a single mom, many times your kids are in public schools, and you might find you're really struggling. Yeah, sometimes single moms really struggle. You find somebody has even to take a loan on their car because maybe biashara kuna vile imeenda vibaya and now they need means to survive. So they decide, let me just take a loan on that piece of land I bought. Let me just take a loan on my car, my kid has to go to school, they need this and this. I'm not able to get it at the moment. What can I do? I'm by myself. You try to ask for other people. You see, how long do you think you can request people for help? People are not always willing to help you all the time. It gets tiresome. They'll be like, I also have my kids. And nobody's helping me. Yeah? Yeah. So it's really not an easy thing to do. But then there's this thing I wanted to ask you about, toxic baby mamas. It's the same thing. They are single moms at the same time. But now these ones, the baby daddies want to help. They really want to be in the kids' lives. But because of the toxicity of the lady, they somehow know they can never end up with them. Maybe they have tried so many times to, request the lady to change because for the sake of their child. They want to be together with the lady for the sake of their child. But at the same time, the lady is so ignorant and so toxic, and they don't, maybe let's say even narcissistic, they don't want nobody, they don't want nobody questioning them or criticizing them. The minute you try to do that, you're attacking them. And naturally, there's toxic people. You can marry somebody thinking they are really nice, then over time they become something else. And we are not ignoring the fact that men go through abuse. Because some women are really toxic. Some women are narcissistic. Some women are entitled. They think they are so special. They don't think beyond themselves. Yeah, it's all about me. And if you're not making me happy, hata mtoto wako utaona. So it exists and it's real. It's something that is happening. Yeah, mnapata mtoto na msichana. And because, they feel they are, I don't know, it's these women who feel like they are most important, they are the reason for this relationship, they feel they are like princesses, the world goes around for them, they are like the top of the world, they are the real deal, they are just up there. So they will just, go about being nasty, and being not very kind to the man. Maybe sometimes before they separated, when they were living together, maybe they were really abusive. There's some good men that learned some women that really changed them. You find, because I know of a man that the house girl had been told not to touch his stuff, clothes, shoes, or anything. He had to do it by himself. Yeah, there's abusive women. There's abusive women out here, and because of that, I think the guy was just nice and not very vocal, and he didn't want to fight, and so he was doing things for himself. Yeah, but now you see what happens. That means you get disrespected, and at the same time, to me, if you see a man accepting such treatment, most probably is making a smaller income than the lady, and maybe the lady is taking up the most work and paying the most bills within the home. It's not easy to find a lady that is disrespecting a guy that is taking care of everything. They exist. I'm not saying they're not there. There are. Especially, there's this case of, you see these military guys, soldiers, when you went places like Somalia, Haiti, they go there for long, for projects that are going to take a lot of time. And because the wife is over here lonely and alone, the wife starts cheating. Yeah? And they disconnect. I just know of a real case, I can't mention anybody, but this guy, the lady was cheating left, right, center, because the guy was away in Somalia working. So she would even sleep outside. She had a house girl, so she would leave the baby with the house help. Yeah? And go out clubbing with other men. Okay? And because of that, she became very toxic to the husband. She would even refuse to pick calls, and when she does, she would talk so nasty. Yeah? She would be so rude. The guy alivumilia. He tried to, start a business for her. He started a salon in Kinyozi. She did not bother. She was never there. He got that business. They had employees, workers, because, they had money they could afford. And it was not a small Kinyozi or salon. It was big. So it needed staff. She was never there. So the business went down. There's no way you can run your business in absentia. You have to be there sometimes even if you're delegating. So the business went down, and there was nothing the guy could do from Somalia. Fine, they closed that one. He started a liquor shop, wines and spirits. Stop. Do you know how much wines and spirits take? You can start a wines and spirits, a small one with 1 million. Yeah. So even that one failed. She was never there. She was always running all over with other men. She never even bothered. The child could get sick, and now it was up to the house girl, the husband, to call the house girl, because the wife is not there and she's not picking calls. Okay, so the baby could get sick, and the house girl had to call the husband. The husband had to call the house girl for updates, because the wife is not picking calls. Yeah, she's not even there. Do you understand how stressful it is? Yeah. So it got to a point where now the guy decided, okay, I want to divorce this one. Missing Turkey. This is so stressful. Yeah, I can take care of the child. Now they were now fighting over custody. Now after the lady, the lady knew this guy cannot leave me. The guy really loved her so much. So she was this arrogant lady who was like, he can never leave me. And you could see he really loved her, like he was posting her everywhere, like, oh my God, he was all over her, like head over heels. But the lady alipata kiburi juu ya hiyo, so akakuwa yeye ndio kichwa. Now one time, you know how restricting it is for people in Somalia to even make a call. The minute they're able to get a call, they call you and you're not there. Now they have to call you, I don't know when again. So the guy got tired. When he came back to Nairobi, he filed for divorce immediately. The lady could not believe it. She thought she had him over here. But then the lady could not believe it, and within days, he was already hunting. Yeah, he replaced her with a lady looking exactly like her. I was kind of happy for him, honestly.
That's a true story.
True story. True story that I know.
At least there's a happy ending for the guy.
Yeah. He got a lady that looked exactly like that lady. It's crazy. Men have a type. So, and now he was fighting to get the baby from that first wife to leave the baby with this second girl, because this one was quiet, calm, composed, and focused, and she was ready to raise the baby while the guy was away. Now, from there, I don't know, I did not follow up a lot. Because the baby was, because now the first wife, when the husband came, he chased her, he told her, get out of my house, go. I'm not going to pay bills for a philandering woman. You are a woman that sleeps with many men. Yeah. So I did not marry. That word I don't want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to go get a life somewhere, and he was very serious. And she was ile ya maringo ya, nadhani nini, siwezi enda, I will go nini. And one day she just left with the baby while the guy was not around, because the guy had told her, if you leave, don't live with my child. My child has been suffering. Look at the baby. He's so thin because you're not taking care of the baby. There's nothing I'm not doing. I'm even paying a help. I'm doing shopping. I have started businesses for you. There's nothing you want to do. So please, just leave. When you leave my child behind. So it was like security for the kid. But of course, the lady managed to be left alone with the baby. I think she pretended to be taking the baby to a kinyozi or hospital, something like, I don't remember the story very well, but that is what she did, and disappeared with the baby. Aliingia tu matatu shwa, akarudi kwao. Sasa she wants to tesa the guy more. So of course the guy was really, he wanted the baby because he did not like the way the baby looked, the condition of the baby with that lady, and it was the mother. Very funny. So they started now that custody battle, getting the baby from the mother's house, because she went all the way to her mother's place in the village. So yeah, they went on and went on and went on, and the guy was updating me of how the lady is now broke. She doesn't have nothing. Let me just,
I don't know why it always ends like that.
It's crazy, right? Yeah, she doesn't have nothing. She's so broke. She's even become thinner, and because while they were still fighting for the baby, he was sending the money for the baby to the mother, to the grandmother, and not the daughter. So the lady was not receiving any money. Yeah, as long as he just wanted the child, to make sure the child was eating something, and he did not leave this second guy. Yeah, he wanted, when you're military, you have to divorce. They usually get married officially, because anything can happen to you when you're out there. And when you die, naturally the government usually wants somebody
who's your wife.
Yeah, who is your legal wife, so that they can take over your stuff. I think there's some money that they usually get paid when somebody dies at work for some time. So they need a wife that will be receiving that money. Yeah, so he needed to divorce, a proper divorce process. And the lady was really giving her a hard time and avoiding Nini. I was like, just divorce her in absentia. What can we do? Just divorce her. Yeah, what can we do? Are we going to Googlerize her?
So the divorce happened?
Yeah, it was in the process, and I didn't follow up a lot. But I know he's still with this other girl. So I don't know whether they made an arrangement to support the girl, the son, while he's still, away and all that. But I know it breaks his heart. He really wanted to have a proper family. Imagine you're out there worried about being shot by Al-Shabaab. Yeah? Your damn place camp can be blown up, but now you also have stress because of your wife. Those people need a lot of support. They need supportive wives. Anything can happen to them. They always need supportive wives. And in my experience, the ones I've seen dating such people is they're always talking. They're always talking, encouraging them, keeping that connection and bond going. Because you see that difference, that separation and that distance is really big. Yeah? It can make it, if you don't talk over and over, and because you're not seeing each other. And by the way, talking about that, doesn't that make the ladies single mom somehow? Somehow. Because many times they are the ones spending time with the kids.
The lady is a single mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow. It's
By
like they
choice.
have to, it's by choice, but they are not really single moms, but they are because of the physical absence. There's everything else, but now there's no dad around. And I believe that matters a lot. Like we said, it's not the same when daddy is around and when daddy is away. And that's why I believe soldiers should be paid a lot of money. They should be paid a lot of money because they sacrifice so much. They sacrifice staying with their children to go protect us. They should be paid. They should be among the highly paid just to compensate for that. It's not easy to live your whole life without your children. You have to be away because the only time you're with them is when you're on leave, and which doesn't happen a lot. So I believe they need support and money, salary. Government, I hope mnanisikiza. Please angalia your area. But you see, when they do, sisi tutaongezwa tax. Okay, you have to pay something. There's a cost for everything. And the cost is us paying them a lot of money, but what are we getting out of it? Safety, security. We are safe and all that. So I believe it's worth it. It's worth every penny. Yeah, it's worth it. Because imagine if they were not there, you couldn't be able to go to work. Insecurity. You wouldn't be able to sit and be calm about your kids being away, even being at school, being on the road. Insecurity. So they are there to make sure that we're secure, which is so important. Yeah. So these wives of soldiers also need support because they are raising the kids by themselves. As much as the husband is around, the husband is away many times. Yeah. So we were still talking about that topic about toxic baby mamas, and that is where that story came from. Because there's also these ones who are very bitter. Yeah? Honestly, a man doesn't have to be with you if you're being abusive. Yeah. You're not the only woman on earth. It doesn't matter how beautiful you are. They have every right to leave you behind. But they have every right to be in the child's life. It's their right. It is their responsibility, it's their obligation. They deserve to be in the child's life. So, now, I've seen some women being left because of their toxic ways and because they don't accept that they're toxic. Yeah? And to begin with, because of their toxicity, they are like, okay, you'll never get to see my child. They are now punishing the guy. Yeah? Because, you left me. You even married somebody else. Let that one have children for you. It's real.
And mostly imagine you stop your the baby daddy, the father of your child, from seeing your child, and you allow another man to see your child. And hakuna kitu amekufanyia, like misunderstandings are normal. It's not every relationship survives, they come to an end, and separation is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
And really, if it's not working, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just not working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what does the baby has to do with all that?
Unless that man is really toxic.
Yeah, unless he's toxic and violent.
He's toxic, narcissistic, was violent, is gonna, very well they are gonna feed your child with some nonsense.
I think rejection is something not everybody is able to pick it nicely, and such women are just consumed by their emotions too much, and their feelings. They're like, oh, this is what I feel, and I'm gonna do what I feel.
Yeah.
And you just, you need to remove your feelings and your emotions from there and just think of this child. This child needs a father, whether you feel like you need to allow it or not. So, and after that you can see what works. Because if the dad is willing to be in the child's life, it doesn't have, and everybody moves on differently.
Yeah.
I think that those that are very bitter, they're the ones that have not moved on. They don't want to move on, and maybe they loved too much, and they are consumed by jealousy, and they're overwhelmed. They're like, after everything, they feel like they did too much, and they feel like the guy is not deserving of other relationships. But again, they're not willing to look at themselves and see, what happened. Maybe I could be the problem.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I could be happier somewhere else. Yeah. So
honestly, we are not overlooking the fact that some men are really toxic, and a lady can get fed up. You can get tired of hanging around a toxic human being. Some men can be very toxic because if the man is cheating on you all the time, if they are narcissistic, narcissist, block that one.
And actually,
a narcissist does not deserve nothing.
Yeah, narcissist, when it comes to providing, that's where they control. They bring the whole idea of control.
Yes.
So for me, I would rather not have to.
Watch out for control. Narcissists will poison your kid.
Oh yeah, there's that.
They are gonna tell your kid you're pathetic. Some will even tell your kid you are malaya. Like they are gonna tell your kid anything. Yani they don't care. So this kid is gonna grow up. It's a child. A child takes what parents tell them until they get to a point where they're like, but dad is toxic, but mom is toxic. I don't think this is how things should be.
Yeah.
I don't see my friends' parents behaving like this. This must be wrong. But you see, when they are very young, between the ages of 3 to, let's say, 10, because a 12, 13-year-old can be able to see, you see this person is the one that is being nasty. Yeah, it's really hot. I know.
I think it's the light.
It's not the light. Well, the light, and also, can you see all the windows are closed? All of them. Yeah?
Yeah, it's okay.
Do you think I should open that door?
Let's finish up.
Maybe if I open you, we might faint before we...
I'm not fainting. Let's continue.
Yeah. Guy, akinja hapa ni nini natukula leo? Mimi sina nguvu ato, sina uwezo. Serikali tuma mtu. So, we are saying we are not ignoring the fact that some men are very, very toxic. You see, especially narcissists, when you realize your ex-baby daddy, your baby daddy is narcissistic, don't even ask questions. Me, I am sending you so many hugs because I understand what you've been through. Triangulation, being cheated on, they can cheat with anything. Like threats, you're being threatened all the time, they are withholding important things. When you need to get school fees for your kids, you have to go through hell. And threats and being reminded how much they are doing for your child. It's like living hell, they have to remind you how much you're not doing anything yourself for the children. They have to remind you, if it were not for them, those children would be somewhere, maybe in some local primary school, suffering. It is so bad, so bad. And I remember there was this narcissist that used to leave the baby mama, and every time he went to see the baby, he would go with a new woman. He would visit the kid with a new woman all the time at the ex-girlfriend's home. Atashuka na demu mwingine. What is the purpose of bringing another woman? Why does my child need to see another woman? Like, why do you have to come with her to my house? So you see, it's okay if my baby meets that other woman in your house. If they come to your house and now the girl is there, okay. But now, why are you bringing her to my house? What are we going to discuss? Sometimes men do that you see, it's good, it's okay if it's one woman. Now, it's a new one every time. You see, if it's one woman, I can sit down with her to even to get to know her. I want to know what kind of this person is hanging around my child. I want to know who they are. I don't want them feeding my child with some crazy shit. But now, you're coming with different women. Even my child is confused. That's why I'm patient, because I know my time is now. Hey. So yeah, we as single ladies, we don't have kids here, but we have friends who have kids and they raise them by themselves. Okay? It is so stressful and overwhelming. I just remember that girl who those days when we were, party people. She had a baby. She was coming to the parties with a baby. And she would get drunk and she's breastfeeding the baby over. She would get drunk and the baby would fall. So somehow you have to hold the baby to breastfeed because the baby is not accepting anybody else. And the mother is gone like she's kaput.
She can't even wake up.
She doesn't even.
And actually, the funny thing about it is the baby was not changed like the whole day, the diaper, and she didn't have an extra one, So the baby was not even fed.
Actually, we had to take that baby away.
No, we had to
go feed the baby.
And
we had to
get
take care
diapers.
of it.
I remember the one that went to buy the diapers. I'm like, and she was out.
Yeah.
I was like, imagine if she was home alone.
Yeah, imagine.
Okay.
You see, oh my God, I hope the baby is okay now. And she's a more responsible.
It was a very handsome boy, little boy.
Yeah, he was so cute.
We tried giving the boy yogurt. Kalikuwa kazuri, kamekula. Kumbe the baby had not even been fed.
Yeah.
The mommy is not even eating. She's breastfeeding. She is not breastfeeding. She's amelewa. Mtoi ameanguka kwa bed. Guy, that was
bed. There was a time the baby fell on the floor of a place where we were drinking. It was an open place like here. Yeah. The baby was reaching for the boob. Kanafikia, kananyonya. Mamake, is not holding. The baby was less than a year.
Yeah.
Amshiki vizuri. Tulisikia tu mtoto kutwa chini kwa floor.
Guy. No, the other time is we had the baby crying and we were like, why is the baby crying? And ilikuwa usiku amelala. So me, I went to check. The baby was on the floor. And the bed was high. It's those high beds.
I'm sorry.
And the mom, it's so funny. The baby had cried for, nilikuwa nasikia, so unajuanga zile cries za mtoi. You're like, maybe kananyonya hataki kulala.
Yeah.
But iliendelea tu, kanalia, hey, hapana, let me now go check. Huyu mtoi anyamazi ni. And the more anakaa, the more analia because ni usiku, the lights were off na kameanguka. So I went and I'm like, I'm switching the lights on, the mom is out. Actually, shake, asking. So that baby was there for like 20 minutes down there. And we had to, I was like, I don't know if she has even, the baby has eaten something. So we had to go feed the baby. The baby had not been changed. He was crying because he had not been changed. We went, got diapers, and we took care of the baby. Until the mom woke up the following day.
That's postnatal depression. Yeah, the lady looked really stressed because she was by herself, living at her parents'
home. And she was young.
And she was so young. The baby was so cute. And I think that is how she was trying to cope, by drinking. Drinking used to help her get away from the problems. But you see, it was now precarious to the child. The child had to suffer because of those things. And those things are not very nice. The kid can develop abandonment issues. Yeah, because they're like, why am I crying and you're not picking me? Why is nobody picking me? So yeah, we are saying if you realize the reason for your separation with your baby daddy, you have to reflect at yourself. Look at yourself.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, what did I do to changia this? And if you realize there was a problem, especially, you see, a good baby dad will not cut connections, especially by providing. They will always want to provide. And sometimes they want to hang out with the child. I don't think that is a toxic baby daddy. But now you have to look at yourself. What did I do to have this relationship breakup? You see, if you look at yourself, you might even save your marriage and your relationship. When you change, your baby daddy might consider, why should I go look for another woman? Let's say I just continue with this one because she already has my kid, and which I love. Yeah, so let's just continue. But then there's women who don't want to look at themselves. They are these entitled toxic women. Honestly, there is those women. They don't want to look at themselves at all or even fix themselves. So you find the guy is getting a very hard time trying to solve and bond and have even a family. So they give up, but they want to be in the child's life, but because you're toxic, you decide the guy is not seeing their child. That is so bad. That is so toxic. And it gets to a point where even the guy gives up and decides, okay, let me marry another person who will have babies for me. Yeah.
It is a roller coaster.
Wow.
It is a whole universal. I'm not gonna call it a challenge. It's a universal
problem.
dilemma.
Yeah. If a guy is toxic, it's okay. Keep the baby away from him. Keep. In fact, if you go to court and explain what's happening, the court will give you the baby many times. Now, if the lady is toxic, please look at yourself. Today we are talking about baby mamas. If you're the lady that is toxic, please look at yourself. You see, this kid has nothing to do with your issues. This kid has nothing to do with your fights. This kid has nothing to do with your baby daddy getting another woman. They have nothing, absolutely nothing to do with this. That is why you have to always ensure that the kid is safe, happy, protected, and they are not abused because they did not ask you to have them to begin with. So if you break up with your baby daddy, that has nothing to do with the child. You have to look for the best ways to raise that child without the most comfortable and sufficient way that is required to raise that kid, because they have nothing to do with your differences. Okay? Now, if your husband died, we are so sorry. As we are products of our dad dying when we were very, very young. I was 2, she was 2 months. I was almost turning 3 years. I think I was a few months turning 3 years. So I don't remember really anything around my dad. I don't. She doesn't. She was 2 months. She wasn't even seeing.
I was still peeling up.
Yeah, she was still
peeling off.
So we don't have that experience of having that baby. And it affected us, by the way. It affected us because we don't know what to do with men. We did not have a father figure. Frank, that's a story for another father figure. That's
we
a story
did not
for
have
another
a
day.
father figure.
But now, this is what happens when
Yeah.
you get raised by a single mom because your dad died.
I think we need to talk about the real issues of children get by being raised by a single that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, we actually talked about that.
I don't know. I feel
we haven't talked about
the real issues from a child to teenager to even you being an older person.
Yeah.
I think there's Kibe. We will share that.
Kibe should come to our show.
Kibe said if you were raised by a single mom,
I agree with Kibe on that topic.
That one is true.
Yeah.
You have serious issues.
We have issues, especially if you're a girl child. Yeah. When you're a girl child, you find it so hard to bond or even be in a relationship because you're like, why are you kaziai me? Like, this is too much. Or you might find it you might find yourself getting in toxic places because you don't know how men should be, how to be treated by a man.
What's the challenge that you've been having?
Me being in abandonment issues, because I was conscious enough to notice that my dad left, and our dad was very caring. So when he left, I noticed that something has left, and I developed abandonment issues. Okay, because our mom, for some reason, she did not sufficiently manage to enable and affirm us like that. And number 2, I didn't know, like, I really missed a father figure in my life. I really wished I could get a father figure, like a man to tell me 1, 2, 1, 2. And now growing up, I now started learning on toxic men. I didn't know how a man is supposed to treat me. So I was settling for the bare minimum. I knew all you need to do is to be submissive, while the man is providing and protecting and loving you.
What did submission look like to you?
That was not submission, that was abuse. But if you ask me, when you get a good man, submission is nice. because you see, they are protecting you, they're providing, you're also going to work, whatever way. They are protecting you, they're holding, that holding, unashikwa mkono kwa barabara. Yeah, they are putting you. You see, that is an experience you've not gotten. You see, many girls get that experience from their dads. Your dad will hold your hand. When you feel scared, you run to dad's arms. Your dad is gonna carry you on their shoulder. That is what dads do. And you missed out on all
You
that.
will call daddy even if he's not around.
Your
Daddy, I want chocolate.
Your dad will want to kill and hang that boy that is hurting you.
Yeah.
That is what dads. By the way, when you introduce a guy to your dad, and your dad is like, yeah, you try some nonsense on my daughter, I'm going to slaughter you by myself. You see, that makes you, even the guy respects you.
Yeah.
They will respect you because you have dad that can actually strangle them if they try to hurt their child. But now here you don't have dad. So you don't know. And you do not have anybody, to protect you. Yeah. So, and the guy, especially if you land a toxic person, they know, they can see, they know you don't have nobody. Yeah, they can do whatever they want to do.
You don't have nobody because if you had, you would have left already. Because this would not be familiar to you.
Yeah,
It was why you even stay.
Yeah.
So the more you stay, the more they're like, oh, okay.
Mm.
And then the more they want to hear about your stories, about your daddy issues, about your, what you're looking for in
Yeah.
life. And you tell them and you're like, I want someone that will love me. I want someone that will, support me. I want someone that will be there for me, there for you. In what way?
But that is the toxic man, because sometimes you can learn a good man. Good men don't mistreat you, especially when they realize you are raised, you do not have that father figure. They will be there for you. They'll be there for you. They will protect you. They will now want to come to fill up that gap that was never there. Okay? Yeah. So there's all that, and I believe it's important to have a father figure around you. Okay? And and that is why it's possible you'll be able to avoid those toxic places, because you have experience. That is not how women should be treated by men. So anytime you see toxicity, you stay away. You walk. You already know you have ukona mbogi, ukona mtu anakuprotect somewhere. Yeah. So there's that. What else? That was my experience personally, and I have had to learn through experience. Like over time, I'm like, why am I so miserable? Yeah, I deserve to be happier. I deserve to be in a good place. Yeah. Hey, unaweza acha hiyo tutafunga. So see you on round 2. We are gonna come back with this topic, okay?